Morning, everyone, and welcome to Age of Innocence. I believe this is class 6. I think we only have 2 more left. Can you believe it? So I have a lot of really interesting information. I'm sure you just heard my microwave stop. Um, the the first is some information from the introduction to one of the editions of Age of Innocence, and I don't have a very good copy, so some of the words I just have to kind of skip over because they're blurry. See, it didn't copy all that well. However, um, there's some really good information in here that's worth sharing before we get to the textbook. Um, this is an interesting anecdote. When The Age of Innocence won the Pulitzer Prize in 1921, Edith Wharton was naturally pleased, though by no means overwhelmed. Um, Pleasure, however, soon gave way to distaste when Wharton discovered that the prize citation that she was being rewarded for winning the American novel which shall best present the wholesome atmosphere of American life and um, the highest standard of manners and manhood. Nauseated by the priggishness of this twaddle, I thought that was funny, and baffled by its grotesque ineptitude as a description of her book, she wrote ironically to friends about the absurd idea of uplifting American morals when she had done little but satirize them for more than 30 years. But her irony turned to fury when it was further revealed that the Pulitzer jury had originally selected Sinclair Lewis, Mainstream, for the prize, only to find the judgment overturned in favor of Wharton by the Craven Prize trustees, who were alarmed by the offense Lewis's satire on small town life was having among their wealthy benefactors. For Wharton, this was her final insult. The Age of Innocence had been chosen not for its quality, but because it was safe. What had started out as a coronation was becoming a fiasco. Let's see. Wharton's novel paints a bleak portrait of contemporary marriage, which might have shocked the keepers of the nation's moral conscience if only they had bothered to read it with care. That we'll get to this concept of marriage a little bit later. Despite their differences between Main Street and The Age of Innocence, they had many points of resemblance. Both were dark comedies of manners which feature cultivated, charming, and self-satisfied protagonists who see themselves as rebelling heroically against Philistine environments. Both examine the pains of marriage and the extent to which the sexes should enjoy equal rights and pleasures. Remember when Archer said that? And let's see. In Edith Wharton's novel, the hero and his would-be mistress are kept apart by the rigid code of conduct which governed every aspect of upper-class New York life in the 1870s. Main Street and the Age of Innocence are also deeply and crucially rooted in local conditions. Even the treatment of the plot in The Age of Innocence draws attention to this point. Though based on the familiar wife-husband-mistress triangle, Wharton takes the greatest pains to show how it is distinguished by the peculiar character of old New York society. The outline of this plot is commonplace. This author goes on to describe Newland Archer, a rich, handsome, and admittedly rather spoilt young patrician of no great distinction, and who marries May Welland, a rich, beautiful, and rather spoilt young woman of equal perfection. I thought that was just kind of an interesting description of them, rather spoilt. So I'm going to pause